Hey Duke fans, this is the 10th episode of the Brotherhood podcast, a milestone for myself and the team and everybody that's been working on this. So before we start, I want to just thank all of our listeners for sticking with us as we figure this out and learn and grow, and hopefully, as we said, as we started with, provide some insight of the program. But again, we're super excited that we've made it 10 episodes in here with all the help and work from everybody behind the curtain with everything we do. So excited for this 10th episode, something a little different today. I'll be the guest of this podcast, and I'm going to turn it over to Kyle Filipowski to be the host today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Young podcast. Your host, Kyle Flip, and I got my special guest right here, Ryan Young. And we're going to be asking Ryan Young some questions today, getting to know more about him. And, I just want to let you know I'm the captain of this podcast now, so I'll be taking over.
Excited to see how you do. It's not easy. You're going to see.
I want to see the comments after this, seeing who does better, me or you. So we'll have to see. But let's get right into it. We'll talk about this podcast to begin. Just tell me how you got the idea to start this, and the reaction you've been getting from fans and the feedback and whatnot.
Yeah, so I guess it was a little bit of a brainchild of myself and the creative media team here with everybody. I did that. You remember when we were at the first game in Orlando? I did like that. I think a lot of teams do it, where they have one guy like being like a fake reporter in the room, while we have like, I don't know, I felt like there was like 50 real reporters there. And I never really done anything like that, but it was pretty cool and fun. And I felt like I was half decent at it. And when we were brainstorming ways to kind of help build my own personal brand, like, a lot of guys on our team like have TikToks and like all that, and that's not really me. I couldn't like bring myself to create a TikTok. So I thought about doing something that was geared like towards that, because it was fun to do that, and it seemed like it was easy and natural. So I brought up the idea of starting like some sort of podcast or some sort of off-season thing to give back to the fans a little bit, and while we're not playing games, do something to kind of just provide more insight into our guys. So this idea of a podcast was born, and the idea was I guess a little bit to help drive my own like user engagement on social media, because that's kind of what we originally were talking about. But honestly, the biggest thing is, like I said, giving back to the fans. I've been talking about it all off season, but the fact that we went like undefeated at home, and coming from a school that I'd been at for 4 years that just had less support from both the students and around, I don't take for granted how impactful the fans are here, both just online, everywhere globally, but especially in Cameron. They really play a huge role in games when we're in there. So the main goal is just to hopefully give back to the fans and let them further immerse themselves into the program and see what the day-to-day is like, and all the personalities we have on the team.
Yeah, I think that's great. Just giving back to the fans is huge, especially the Cameron Crazies. But I just want to give you some kudos as well, because I remember your personality coming into Duke last year, and you had no clue what you're going to do for the countdown.
Oh my gosh.
The Crazies night with your dance, and you just ended up walking out there and waving to everyone, and getting your butt off the stage as quick as possible. So I think this podcast is a great way for you to find your niche.
Countdown is the worst day of the year. Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it a little bit. I think I'm gonna enjoy it a lot more this year, but just because of getting a little more comfortable with it, you gotta be okay with being a little weird at times. Jared's so good at it, I'm struggling a little bit on TikTok myself. I might try to do some podcast now or something, but yeah, it's definitely not for everyone. So
it's I remember like leading up to it, not really understanding how big it was.
Yep.
And like I'm just not. I don't mind like being in front of people and like public speak, like all that I'm fine with, but like I'm not a dancer at all. Mm-hmm. So to like try and dance in front of like 10,000 people is not a fun time if you're not a dancer.
Yeah, for sure.
And I remember like
Especially
wasn't they like everybody for like the weeks leading up, like everybody's talking about like what's your countdown song gonna be, what's your countdown song gonna be, and I was like, I don't know, I'll figure it out like a few days in advance. And then like when we finally got to that day and like we did like a little rehearsal, I was like, oh my god, like this is like a big production, like this is gonna be a big deal.
Yeah.
And I remember like sitting next to like Kale, and he was like kind of going through the same thing, as in like starting to like realize like how like bad this can be if you're not a good,
Right.
if you're not like that kind of person that wants to like go do this. And I was sitting there like at rehearsal, like I'd pay like $500 not to go up and dance in front of these people. And then like it was not my thing, but nonetheless a super cool experience. And obviously it's fun to see the students get so into it and so excited about it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But no, I can't say I'm excited to get back up there and dance more.
Yeah. One more question about the podcast before we move on is who do you think was the most surprising speaker you had, or most impressive one of us?
Jeez.
There's only one right answer. There's only one right answer.
You and Tyrese were both good. You were just so early that I didn't like really understand. Like, I've gotten a lot better at hosting and not like making it. I've been trying to emphasize making it less of an interview and more of a conversation, because the first few times I did it with you and Tyrese and Jay Blake's was early. It was like a one-on-one interview.
Yeah.
Versus it being more of a conversation. So these late ones, Mark was really funny to go back and forth with.
Okay.
My favorite, like one of the best guesses though, was definitely Woj. I know you know him pretty well you were coaching with him at K Academy,
Yeah,
right?
I was.
I just didn't really know him all that well, and
Okay.
I didn't know what to expect from the podcast. And obviously, he's a really good speaker because he's, been in coaching, been a head coach, and all that. But he was just super open and like down to earth, and just really opened up about everything that he's done in his career. So I thought it was really awesome to learn from him.
Okay. Nice. That's a lot of great Duke guys coming through this program for sure. So, speaking of that, what made you choose to come here last year, and what was the deciding factor between here and a few other places?
Yeah. So I spent 4 years at Northwestern. Love it. It's an incredible experience. And then by the time I graduate, I'm starting to look for something new. I had 2 years left to play. I wasn't sure if I was going to use both, but I knew I wanted to play another year somewhere. And the biggest thing was just helping a team win. I had never been to I'd never been to the tournament. We had finished 4 times. Unfortunately, we couldn't really get over the hump. At Northwestern, we finished 4 times in the bottom 4 of the Big Ten. So the biggest thing for me was getting to a place where I felt like I could help contribute to winning and help get a team to their goals, win a championship. I visited a couple schools, but when Coach Shire reached out, I knew that this was a place where I thought I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it took Coach Shire and I a few conversations. I wasn't sure. It took him a few phone calls to kind of convince me that he thought I could play here. I wasn't too sure. Obviously, the highest and the most talented players in college basketball are here, and I wasn't too sure. I wanted to help a team win, but I knew I wanted to also, play a role on the court. And so when Coach Shire, told me that he thought I could do that and wanted me to come here and be a part of his first team, I didn't think that there was a better place to try and come and help and affect winning and help a team get to a postseason. And then that coupled with the opportunity to get my MBA here was pretty convincing as well. And that's been a super fun part of it as well.
Yeah, because you decided to stay here for a couple more years to get your MBA rather than going to the NBA.
Oh yeah. I told.
Had to turn them down.
Yeah, I was on all the draft boards, a lot of meetings, a lot of workouts, and I told him I didn't want to be the #1 overall pick. I gotta get my MBA.
Man,
tough decision.
It is a tough decision. I'm glad you came back though. I love playing with you.
Yeah, that was part of it. Yeah.
Yep.
I let Wemby take the #1 spot, and I wanted to come back and spend another year with you.
How gracious of you. That's very selfless. That's awesome. Speaking of, that talk with Shire and playing a role on this team, what what do you think you do so well for this team? Like you said, you're all about winning here and just doing whatever you can. What elements do you think you bring to the table that helps us win?
Yeah, I think it's just trying to identify what is necessary out of me to help the team win. Because I do a couple things well, but I don't do anything incredibly well. I'm not the best shooter on the court. I'm not the most athletic guy. So I think being around college
We all know
basketball.
that.
What'd you say?
I think we all know that.
I'm getting more athletic.
You are. You are. Coach
think
Will's helping you out.
Coach Will said that, and Dildy has been telling me he thinks I move a lot quicker and different than he last saw me when I was a junior at Northwestern. So
Oh, nice.
I don't know if he's gaslighting me that way, but he seems to think it's true. No, I think I've been around college basketball enough, and I've seen how effective glue guys and hustle guys can be for teams. There's a lot of teams with a ton of talent, but if you don't have a few guys that are willing to do the dirty work and be gritty guys and do whatever it takes, that team can only get as far
Yeah.
as they can without them. So, there's I wanted to come here and be a guy that does whatever it takes to win, whether it's going after every rebound, every loose ball, or whether it's some games where I'm expected to catch the ball in the post and score. And the other thing was just coming in and helping be a mentor to you young guys. Obviously, we
Right.
had 8 freshmen last year and
7, yeah.
4 new guys, including myself. And when I was a younger player, there was 2 guys on the Northwestern team, a kid named Derek Pardon and Barrett Benson, who were senior and junior at the time. That really played a prevalent role in my development, both on and off the court. But certainly, when I showed up, I redshirted. I wasn't ready to play at that level. I was undersized, but I also just wasn't ready. And I was so thankful for what they did for me at a young age, and most of it was just beating the shit out of me in practice. They were great dudes, but I was looking back. I'm so thankful that they came in and just like killed me in practice every day.
Yeah.
But then obviously just being the great leaders that they were and teaching me how to be a successful player and successful student athlete.
Yeah.
It felt like when I came here, one of the things that I wanted to do was almost pay it forward to them and be an older player that could help you guys, show you the ropes and help you learn. It was harder to beat the shit out of you guys in practice because you guys are a little more talented than I was when I was 18. But it was just trying to. A long answer to your question is trying to identify whatever it takes to help the team win.
For sure, for sure. Well, I still think you put plenty of beatings on us, though, for sure. And I mean, I think it's great though
You
that
didn't know about the pump fakes.
no one knew about the pump
Derek
fakes.
did not know about the pump fakes his first few weeks here.
Yeah, but no, I think you did a great job. I'm very thankful for you. With what you've done, like you said, now you being the OG, kind of paying it forward to the younger guys like myself. I learned a lot from you this past year. I love banging around with you in the post. And but how was that though? That transition, because not only were we freshmen coming into college, but like you said, it was basically almost all of our team was new, and you coming in being an OG, but also being a new player here as well, but also trying to be a leader. What was that like?
Yeah, it was different. That was the obstacle, I think, for me and for the team in general. So, through my time at Northwestern, we never, you have 3 to 4 guys leave each year, and you have 3 to 4 freshmen come in, or maybe 1 transfer. And it's not easy, but you have a buffer in between the staff and the new guys and the returning players to help smooth that transition, to help show them what's expected through practice, what's expected everywhere in the film sessions, how the coach wants the program run. So it was harder to be a leader and be an older guy for everybody, for I think Jake and Max and Kale and all the older new guys, because Jeremy and Jalen, but Jeremy playing the only guy playing substantial minutes, you kind of lose that buffer when you have whatever it was, 10 new guys, 11 new guys, and 1 returner. It's harder because it's difficult for me to be a leader when I'm also every day learning how Coach Shire wants the program run, how he wants, practice going, all these things. So I'm trying to be, a mentor and help you guys kind of learn how things should be operating, but I'm also at the same time learning. So
Yep.
that was a bit of an obstacle, but honestly, it was easy with the personalities we have in the locker room.
Yep.
I think Coach Shire does and the staff do an incredible job of recruiting guys that are confident and hungry, but also just great people.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
it's not, it's really easy to try and be a mentor and be an older guy to guys like you and Christian and Derek, because you're like, you have great personalities and you want to get better and you want to ask questions and you want to learn. So I thought our team did an incredible job of coming together, despite, like you said, having all the newness and all the craziness that comes with 11 new guys and a new head coach. So
Yeah, I agree. I think that was also something that played into my decision to come here as well. Was just the characters
Yep.
of the people here. It's really definitely a family, and learning from each other, and how we can just connect off the court as well. That helped the growth of the team a lot.
yeah, specifically, I feel like I saw it with Derek. Obviously, the bigs all worked closely together, but
Yep.
Derek being the number one high school recruit, coming in and hitting a little bit of a freshman wall and taking a few games to kind of gather and get his bearings. It really had a huge impact on me to see him not like frazzle at all in that moment. And I think that's where you see in this program, you see guys be able to back up and use, like you said, that the high character that all these kids have, all their personalities. I don't know what I would have done if I was an 18-year-old and I was the number one recruit in the nation and I came and, he was, if I had the same kind of struggles he did throughout the beginning of the year. And just to see him come in every day in practice, work harder, who's still the loudest guy in practice and gym
Sure,
every
for
day.
sure.
And that's just, as a fifth-year senior, like, to see that, it's a big deal. Because I'm thinking to myself, if this kid can come into practice with all the pressure he's hearing, with all the stuff he's probably seeing on social media, with all the people in his ear, and all he cares about is still coming to practice and working hard, and still, he's still the most excited guy in the locker room when we win, even though he's probably not personally playing as well as he would like, or getting the minutes that he would like. It's a big deal, and like you said, it backs up onto the character in the locker room.
For sure. Yeah. Do you have any funny stories from this past year working with the bigs, like alongside me or Derek or any of us? Any come to mind?
Gosh,
I can just say one for myself
go
is
ahead. Yeah,
just the physicality coming in over the summer, and you you being the shit out of us. There were a few times you backed me in the post. I'm like, God damn, yeah, we're allowed to do this type of stuff, and really the only thing I could do back at the time was just foul the shit out of you. And there were times I had enough. I was just like grabbing you when we were playing 5-on-5 and just would throw you out of the way to get the rebound because I was sick of the coaches yelling at me for Ryan to keep outworking me.
It's funny to learn what you can get away with in practice, because there's no college basketball coach that's going to tell you to be less physical in practice.
Yep.
And especially as a fifth year, like, that's kind of my job and role, is to come in and like be hitting you guys from day one.
Right.
I do remember that, and I do remember like both all you guys. And you never know, like, coming out of high school, it's so different as a big.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you don't realize just how physical, and it starts early. Like, as soon as you cross half court, the big, you're trying to find each
Yeah.
other, and you're working for positioning immediately.
Yeah.
And there's no way Emil or Shire was gonna like call like ticky tack fouls
Yeah.
that probably get called in games. You have to learn what you can actually get away with. But
Yeah.
I remember walking in day one that was something that all three of you guys were gonna learn very quickly.
For sure.
That's funny.
And that's good. It definitely gave us more character and grit for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Looking forward to this year now, though. What do you think our goals should be as you, myself, Christian, Sean, just in terms of the bigs and how we want to play, how we want to affect the game, impact the team this year? What do you think our goals should be?
Yeah, I think it's, the same as last year. What we used to talk about before every game is we have to outwork the opposing bigs. And that means being in better shape, being more aggressive, and knowing the scout. So those are the three things that I try and, our group of bigs, but me personally, you want to feel confident about those three things going in every game. And feeling confident means you've done more than the opposing big in all three of those. So being in better shape, knowing that you're to come in and play harder and be aggressive has to be a given. And the third one is, feeling like you've done your homework more than they have. So those are the three things when I think game to game. But overall, Coach Shire has emphasized that he wants to play faster. And that's a thing that, you can only play, teams can only play as fast as their bigs are running.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
For sure.
That's for me when I'm thinking about it. Me, you, Christian, Sean, everybody. The biggest thing is going to be, in the best shape possible. And then I think, for me personally, being able to get out there and be a threat from beyond the 3-point line is a big deal. Obviously, playing you at small ball 5 gives us such a dynamic look, and it allows our guards and everybody else on the floor. It gives them so much more space.
Yeah.
So if I can get to a point where, I can really threaten that shot and
Right.
get opposing bigs to come out and guard me instead of plugging up the lane, that'll be a big deal for our offense. And then
sure.
obviously defensively, protect the rim, be aggressive in ball screen coverage. And,
Shot blocker.
Yeah, I'll be a big shot blocker.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And just go after loose balls.
Yeah,
Yep.
most definitely. No, I've definitely been seeing you put in the work this summer with the 3-point shot. So I wouldn't be surprised if you do hit a few this year. So, the fans.
What's the over? What everybody keeps on asking me. Well, everybody always asks the over under for dunks. What do you think my over under for dunks is this year?
Over under for dunks?
Yeah.
I'd give you 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The line was set from Neil said that it was 2.5 yesterday. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
See.
fair. That's fair. I think there's sometimes you might get some sneaky bounce and stuff, especially with how we're playing. There might be a lot more opportunities as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that'd be great for you to knock down some threes as well. I think
Yeah.
spreading the court's gonna be huge for us. Like you said, me being able to play 5 out, that's gonna open up the paint a lot more for us. We're still gonna have the high-low
Yeah.
combo with you and me or Christian and at times as well. So we got a lot of new things that we're going to be showing the country this year.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Moving on to some styles now.
Some styles.
Some styles. Who do you think is the best dressed on the team and why?
Last year? This year now?
This year. Let's do this year.
Oh, gosh. I think
Let's focus on the freshmen,
I really like
the new guys.
Well, thank God this freshman class has a little bit of style. You guys last year were a disaster. we remember for what was Miss Debbie trying to get us jeans for? Like she was trying to get us to wear the same.
Oh yeah, for just some event we were doing.
We were doing an event and like she's like originally it was like where we got polos. They gave us like the polo to wear and she was like everybody just wear like a pair of khakis and like all the freshmen and like 4 other guys were like, I don't have a pair of khakis. She was like, okay, then just wear jeans. And then like 4 of the freshmen again were like, I don't own a pair of jeans.
I had khakis. I didn't have jeans.
It's unbelievable. No, I like. Jared has like his LA style going on,
Yep.
he seems to get so much free stuff from a bunch of people. I'm very jealous of that. I need to ask him to get me some shirts.
You should do something. Every podcast we do, you gotta wear a different brand of merch. And that'll be you shouting them out, and you get some free stuff out of them.
Yeah, I don't know if that's legal.
I'm pretty sure it's legal.
We'll check on it. I like Jared's style. I like Caleb's a lot. I don't know what Sean's been breaking out recently. TJ TJ might as well be in the last class. He just wears he only wears Duke stuff.
I think, but that's the thing. Once we get into the season, we just become so lazy, and we don't really care what we're wearing other than just it being comfortable, sweatpants, shorts.
A big thing for
t-shirts.
me is having to put on fits to get those like pregame pictures
Oh yeah, because
because
your in-game ones are so
my in-game
terrible.
pictures are awful.
Yeah.
My mouth's open 100% of the time when I'm playing, I guess.
Yep.
And then the pictures are just like ridiculous. I don't have like any like good like from this past year. There's probably I don't know, couple hundred, like probably over 500 pictures of me playing basketball. I'd say like less than 5 of them are like somewhat okay to
Yeah.
like look at or post on social media. So I got to really emphasize the pregame fits.
I'm with you on that though. I think I'm gonna try the pregame fits a little more serious this year because I mean, did you see that one post I did on Instagram where I said it was the best of the worst, where it was just a whole post of
Yeah.
ugly pictures of my facial expressions. I thought I have so many of those just like you that I was like, let's try to get something out of it.
I don't know how guys take good pictures. Like
I don't know
Tyrese
either.
posts like a picture a week of him playing basketball, and he just looks normal.
I know.
And I don't know how he does it.
I don't know either. Like whether it's the camera, like the
It's definitely the
angle from
cameraman,
being
actually.
taken
Yeah, I don't know
from.
what I'm saying. It's Nick and these guys just
Yeah,
they're only taking pictures of me when I look stupid.
they want to make fun of us.
They're out to get us.
That's wild, man. I mean, I've tried to take my style to another level this year, just with being more of like a classy guy, and but it's so hard to find stuff that fits nowadays.
Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. We do the best we can. Yeah, for sure.
That's all you can ask for.
Yep, most definitely. I'm gonna hit you with some quick hitters right
Okay.
now. All right, just first thing that comes to your mind, let me know.
All right.
All right, and then we'll move on to some trivia. All right, so what's your favorite trivia category?
Wow. I like geography. I like to travel and see new places, so geography is pretty fun.
Okay, I suck at that.
I'm not good. I'm not good at it, but I just like enjoy it, I guess.
You enjoy getting the questions wrong? 'Cause
Not getting them wrong, but like,
if you're not good at it,
but if I get it wrong, it's like, oh, okay, this is where, whatever, I get like a European country wrong, and I feel like now I know it.
oh, and you're gonna travel there and go see it.
No, well, like, hopefully.
All right, okay. Moving on. Favorite movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
What do you rate that out of 10?
I couldn't give it a 10 out of 10. It's against core principles to give it a 10 out
Whose
of 10.
principles?
Mine. I don't think you can't give it a 10 out of 10. I like Shawshank a lot though.
So what do you rate it?
Like a 9.9.
What?
You follow
what-
me on Letterboxd?
I don't, because I don't care about your stupid comments and reviews of movies. I was just gonna say that these guys should go follow your, what is it called?
Letterboxd is like the
Letterboxd?
premier. Well, like there's IMDb, but like it's like
Okay.
a movie review app that's like
I know
easy to use.
IMDb. Yeah.
No, I like Shawshank, and it's unfortunately like not really a movie that you can rewatch. Actually, do you remember? Coach Shire showing us the clip last
in
year?
class,
I couldn't believe he did that.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
You were happy.
No, he like, well, I wasn't like mad, but he showed the last. Have you seen the movie?
I've seen bits and pieces. I
Okay.
know of his reputation though.
But so you understand the ending is like the whole movie.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I know
gonna
the
spoil
plot.
it. I'm gonna spoil it for everybody listening. But also, it's like a 30-year-old movie, so if you haven't seen it yet, that's your own fault. But he breaks out of prison the whole time. You don't know it until like, or I guess you do know it. No, you don't. You don't know until he breaks out of prison until the end.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Shire, I think, the point was maybe we like in a tough stretch of the season. His point was like,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
remember.
going to happen all in one day. Like the guy spends like whatever, like 8 to
Days
10
breaking
years in
through.
prison, like all
Yeah.
just chomping like with whatever the little like pickaxe. And I think Coach Shire's like message was, we're not going to break through in one big hit. It's going to take days, stacking days,
Yeah.
stacking practices, stacking workouts, which was a great message. But,
Agreed, yeah.
But after we watched the final like 10 minutes where he breaks through and like swims through whatever the football fields of sewage, Coach Shire like asked everybody like who's seen the movie, and like 2 guys raised their hands, and I was like,
You were appalled by it,
Well, I was mad. I was like, Coach Hire just spoiled like the one of the like objective like top 10 movie of all time for everybody here.
but it's not 10, it's 9.9.
It's a 9.9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try to make this next one a little quicker since it's a quick segment. Your
right.
favorite sports team?
I don't really have a favorite. I'm a LeBron guy. Whatever team LeBron James is playing for.
So that's not a favorite sports team. That's a favorite player.
Then the Los Angeles Lakers right now, but I could change if he were to leave immediately. Bandwagon, quick.
Okay, so you don't have a favorite sports team.
I kind of moved around a lot growing up, so I'm more of a player guy.
Okay, that's fair. I'm more of a player guy too. Favorite thing about Duke? Kyle Filipowski.
Favorite thing about
Playing with Kyle Filipowski in the front court.
yeah, I'll say the people.
In particular, Kyle
We
Filipowski.
talked about. I'll make this quick because this is your quick segment. But
You're a quick segment, so let's.
Theo brought this up, and it was a big surprise for me too. I didn't really understand what the Brotherhood was
Okay.
when I got here, and I didn't grow up a Duke fan, so I just thought it was like their mantra. And Theo said like every team has one, so I just figured like it's a thing people say, but when you get here, you realize just how impactful it is, and the people that care so much about the program and the university. There's tons of people just looking out for us and supporting us. That doesn't happen everywhere, so it's a big deal.
Okay. Nice. Who's your favorite team growing up?
Favorite.
You didn't
I
grow
would
up a Duke fan,
say
who were you?
my parents both attended Syracuse University and played sports there, so I was a big Syracuse fan. I used to joke around with Emil. There's a picture of me wearing. I was at the I think it's 2015 because what?
This is hard to listen to.
Oh, why?
This is, let's keep it going. You're talking about Syracuse right now.
Well, yeah, but that's just like how I grew up because my parents went there. But I went to the Duke Syracuse game in the Dome in 2015. Emil was on the team, and there's a picture with me courtside as a kid. I must have been 14, 15 years old, and Emil's in the background and Julia Locafor's in the background, and I'm wearing a Screw Duke shirt.
No way.
Syracuse, one of the ones that you buy.
We have to see that picture.
The ones that you buy. I don't know if that picture needs to surface. One of the pictures. One of the t-shirts you just buy outside the stadium, as a 14-year-old kid, and Emil's in the background, which is super funny. But anyway,
that is hilarious.
I was a Syracuse fan growing up because that's
really good.
where my parents are from.
That's very good. That's awesome. You're talking about loving geography so much. Where's your favorite place to go on vacation?
I'd like to explore more of Europe. We took a European tour when I was at Northwestern. That was really the first time I'd been abroad.
You wanted to go to Europe for our getaway trip rather than Chicago, right?
Yeah, I've spent some time in Chicago. I didn't need to do more sightseeing there. I haven't been to the UK, so I think that would be a cool place to go.
Okay, nice. What about in the U.S.? Where's your favorite U.S. city?
I liked Chicago a lot. I grew up around New York, but I like Chicago. I thought it was a great balance of I thought Chicago gets you all the benefits of New York without any of the drawbacks. It's not that expensive. It's cleaner. There's a little less people, and it's a beach in a city. Obviously, the winters are tougher, but I kind of think that's exaggerated. Being from the Northeast, I don't think Chicago is crazy cold in the winter, and I think it's really hard to beat Chicago summer. I'd put it up against any city.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I've been to Chicago a few times, and I like it better than New York by a landslide. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Sure. Now we're gonna get into some trivia. All right, so we'll do some trivia for you real quick. We got 5 questions, and we'll be out of here.
Okay.
All right, so question number 1. There are 6 Duke players all time to score 20-plus points on 100% shooting. Can you name 3 of them?
One of them's me.
Narcissist, but okay. You're right, but there's 6 guys, some greats, and you're saying yourself
one
first.
of them's Christian Leitner.
Yep.
In a Final Four game. Mine was in a conference game. I did in a conference game. It was Florida State, I think.
Okay.
So
yes, you did do
just
a conference game.
similar games.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Leitner, Is Shire one of them?
No,
Shire has something.
not that.
It should be it's going to be a big probably.
Yep.
Because of just the shooting percentage. I assume Jaleel Okafor do it?
Nope.
Did Marvin Bagley do it?
Nope. There's some older guys.
Oh.
I think more than 2000.
Elton
Nope.
Brand.
All right, so we know.
Do I know him?
You should. I mean, if you know Duke history.
Okay. All right.
But we might have to move on because we're running out of time.
Just tell me who they are. I don't know it.
Carlos Boozer,
Oh,
he did twice. Grant Hill, Larry Saunders, Ryan Kelly.
Okay. I could have thought more about it.
The wrong Ryan. Okay, next one. We'll give you half points for that.
Okay.
Who is the only player in school history to have 20 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, 100% field goals, and 100% free throws in a game?
Is it me?
Yes.
What
Narcissist.
This is
So we got okay.
this is a funny bit.
You got that
give you a
right.
lot of
I'm
credit.
glad
This
you
is-
know
this
your
is
own
hilarious.
personal stats at least.
This is a good bit.
Can you name the top 3 winningest head coaches in Northwestern basketball history?
Oh wow. It's Collins is up there.
Yep.
I don't know if he's won yet. It's the guy before him. He went to Holy Cross after. I can't remember his name because he was there for a long time. I'm not gonna remember his name.
Bill?
Yeah, Bill Carmody is on there.
I'll give you that because you got the last name. Okay.
Okay, I described who he was too.
You did, so okay. Good job.
That's 2, and then is the one an older dude?
I'm assuming. I don't know. I didn't go to Northwestern.
Okay, I don't know the third.
His name's Dutch Lonborg.
Dutch longboard.
Lonborg.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll give you half points for that too. Next question. What was Ryan Young's national high school ranking?
Oh my gosh.
1.
Yeah, 1. Yeah. It was not in New Jersey. I was like the 4th or 5th ranked
National.
player. Yeah, I don't even know if I was I was not within like the top 200, right?
No.
I don't know. I think I was like 2 stars. Do you know what stars are? Do you know what I was?
1 star.
I was 1 star.
No, you were 3.
Oh. I might have been like 230 something.
No.
240. Oh, is it high 200s? What? Is it worse? Is it above 300? Where'd you get this ranking from? I'm not like above 500. What is it?
Is it the 300s?
Oh, 330.
333.
Ah, that's a
Yeah.
cool number, I guess.
That is a cool number.
It was a really good class. It was a lot. There was a lot of good players that year. 2018, they say it's like the best class ever. 332 incredible players.
332. Really?
Yeah, they're all in the NBA now. Yeah.
Okay. What is the highest ranking for the Brotherhood podcast in the basketball category in the United States?
Oh.
Oh wow, this is a pretty cool stat. You're doing pretty good. This is a.
I have
for
to
you.
delve more into this. I'm doing an independent study with a marketing professor on the data and analytics of this, but I don't know what it is. In terms of basketball podcasts,
Yeah.
we're not above JJ Redick's. We're certainly not above
Paul George.
Paul George. Probably
Draymond
against some other
Green.
ones. Draymond Green. There's probably a few other rogue ones that are up there.
Yeah.
Are we in the top 15?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. That's really.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out the fans.
Wow. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Top, I'll guess 11.
12.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
That's pretty good.
We're
I
on
mean,
the
for
rise.
only 10 episodes, this
Yeah. 10th episode.
pretty dang good.
Thanks.
You gotta thank your fans some way, give.
We talked about it in the beginning, but it's been.
No, I mean have a little raffle or something maybe for appreciate a token of appreciation for them.
There's been a lot of comments about getting a fan on the podcast, which would be
Oh.
a really unique thing.
That
The
would
cool
be
thing
cool.
about the podcast is it's nothing's set in stone at all.
Yeah.
Because we just kind of it's very new and you know, everything. Like, we're super open to trying different things and
Yep.
like keeping and molding and shaping it as it goes. Especially,
Mhm.
you know, once we get into the season and playing more, there's a lot of different cool and unique things we can do. So it's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well,
Absolutely. I got a bonus question for you.
okay.
I got a bonus question for you. In which country has the podcast ranked number one? And I'll give you a little hint. It's not America.
Well, if we're 12 in America, if we're 12 overall, I'm sure we're not
I
one
just-
in the U.S.
I just didn't want you to say America and then look
Yeah.
like a fool on your own podcast.
Thanks for looking out for me.
You're welcome.
Would it be Australia because of
No.
the Tyrese episode?
No. It's in Europe. I think. I'm not good with geography, so you're gonna have to tell me if it's in Europe.
I'm trying to think of like why Duke basketball would be. Is it a big country?
No, it's a small. It's like a good name. It's a big name country, but physically it's a small country. It has really pretty colors.
Okay, that makes me think beaches. I guess
No,
like the flag has pretty colors.
no. Oh, I don't know.
What has pretty colors?
The environment, like they're famous for like something that has pretty colors.
Flowers.
Yeah, and what country is that?
Like. Is it Norway or like not Germany?
No.
Amsterdam.
Well, yes, but is that a country? That's not a country. I'm saying country. So what country is Amsterdam in? Don't look at them. You're the one that likes geography.
I know.
Look at me.
Amsterdam is in shit, I can't remember.
It starts with an N.
Oh, the Netherlands.
Oh my goodness. It was that easy
What was?
to figure out it was the Netherlands when I said it was N.
The flowers. You're right.
Yeah,
They have pretty flowers.
they do.
Maybe we can go sometime and look at the pretty flowers.
I think we should make that our next team trip. Yeah.
All right. Well, no more questions, right?
No, that is it for you.
Well,
Thanks
thanks for doing this, Flip. This is fun. I'm excited to see what the fans think of you as a host. And
Yep. 5-star rating. Thank you very much.
well, all right. Thanks, Duke fans. Again, 10th episode. We're super thankful for all of our viewers and listeners. It's been super special, and we're excited to keep this thing going. We'll see you next Tuesday.